So we're gonna make my favorite green juice today, and it involves celery, cucumber, kale, apple, citrus. I'm using lime today, but I often use lemon, and ginger as a yummy add-on. You could also swap this with turmeric. And you're welcome to wash your produce if you would like, have that already. And it's always nice to do that because you never know who's handling it at the grocery store and all the food suppliers, unless you're picking it from your own garden. But I still even recommend giving it a rinse then. Make sure any stickers are off if you are not getting it from your garden. And I leave the ginger skin, peel, and all on. Same rule applies to turmeric root. Citrus, lime, or lemon, you're gonna leave your skin on as well. And let's see what else. I also often like swapping my apple for pears or other fruit like that. And we're just gonna juice it up. So the first thing we're gonna do, I'm using my masticating juicer, my Omega 8006 that I've had for like 12 years. It's really great for doing green juice and fibers, but it has a very small hole on the top. So that is where everything has to go in, and we have to cut everything down to fit inside of it. So I'm not even gonna cut the ends off of these cucumbers, but I have to cut them kind of small. Watch yourself. It's probably one of the harder, or like not hard, but slightly more time consuming parts about this juicer. You can cut little bits off, bits and bobs if you'd like, but it doesn't really matter because you're putting it through the juicer and it's going to filter anything out into the fiber basket. The bits and bobs. And you can leave the apple stem and core and everything. It's going to, once again, it will pump that into the filter basket. I'm juicing enough for 2 green juices because I love drinking juice every day when I'm really on my game, which is not I will never lie to you, that is not it's my daily goal, but I've never actually achieved that for life. But what I find helpful is I don't want to make my juicer dirty every single day. So I will make a couple days, 2 or 3 days worth at a time, and then store them in the fridge, have them ready to go. If you like growing your own food or have kids, or just like fun things, you can put your celery in a little bowl with some water in the windowsill, and it will grow a new celery stalk. It's really fun. I'll have to do that on the side and show you guys the progress later. So we've got 1 bunch of celery, 1 very large cucumber, so you might need 2 cucumbers depending on the size. The apple was about like a standard medium size apple, 1 lime. Ginger is that much ginger, approximately. I like spice, I like heat. Ginger isn't like spicy, but it has some of that kick to it, especially when you put more in there. And we're leaving the peel on the ginger. And then kale, I have a big bunch, and we're probably gonna use like half to 2/3 of it, like 3 or 4 leaves per juice. And we're making 2 juices today. So I'm gonna set the rest of this aside. And it's also really fun to throw in, I mean, you could just use cucumber if you don't like celery, or if you don't have it, vice versa. You could just use celery if you don't like or have cucumber. I love throwing in things like cilantro or parsley or basil or mint. It's really fun, even wild greens from my garden. And then you just throw it through your juicer. So let's go. And I'm noticing a little bit of dirt, but I'm just gonna wipe it off with my hand because I don't mind that. It's good for us. And we'll have fun with my little haunted juicer. Has a little bit of a squeaky vibe. You always want to start with the greens, the more fibrous items. Anything like greens, ginger, if you're juicing garlic or turmeric, any herbs, because all of the juicier stuff will push that through. So you don't, like if you put the garlic, or we're not juicing garlic today, but if you're putting in the ginger and the kale at the end, you're not going to get as much of the goodness. And I think you'll be able to kind of see why as I'm juicing this. So this is a slower juicer than centrifugal, which are the ones with the baskets on top. But I really like this one. It's really easy to clean. The warranty lasts for like 12 to 15 years or something like that, and I've never had any issues. I have had to get a couple parts replaced, like one of my former dogs chewed this thing one time, so I had to get a new one, and it was so fast, no questions asked. Just sent them a picture of the chewed up tamper. I didn't tell them my dog chewed it, they didn't ask. And within a few business days, I had a new one. And when there's been like one part that broke once because we were using this juicer at my restaurant at Superfresh years ago in an emergency, and it was just too much for the juicer. So there was one part that broke because the volume of juices we make there over many months. But then they replaced it, no questions asked, really quick, really easy. And I love this because it's a lower heat. You're getting a lot more juice out of the produce. So you could juice the same amount of produce in a different juicer, and this would be much juicier. Can you see how that's like almost really, it's like really dry. There's barely anything in there. I also really like the masticating juicers like this one because they're really great for juicing things like wheatgrass. And it's really fun. You can even throw in like frozen fruit and make sorbets. You can throw banana through there and make banana ice cream, banana nice cream. Some frozen raspberries for some raspberry sorbet. Supposedly you can even use it to make nut butters, and has pasta, like pasta filters and things. Anyways, I've never used those filters. I just kind of stick to the basics, but I've had it since college. I love it. You can blend with any blender, even though I have finally, for a few years now, have a Vitamix at home. But can't juice without a juicer. So the juicer is stripping the fiber, and we're getting just the like super nutrient dense, concentrated juice. I'm really careful. I don't do like, so technically we actually only have half an apple in each of the juices for today and then tomorrow, our second juice. So I like to do like half an apple. A lot of the recipes at my restaurant and in my cookbook are one full apple or one full pear. That is on the sweeter, it's not super sweet, but it is on the sweeter side. But that's where a lot of the things about juices aren't that healthy for you come in, is the sugar content when you're stripping the fiber away. So I actually have to be really careful with my like carrot and beet juice. You can do sweet potato. Almost. I'm just pushing the fiber away so it's not getting in my juice basket. And this is so fun to do with the littles. My niece loves making juice. My mom has the same juicer she got like maybe a few months after I got mine. And my niece absolutely loves making juice. She doesn't really like drinking the juice other than maybe apple. She'll always taste it though. She'll always taste grandma's juice. So she's got a job whenever she's ready to start at Superfresh. And look at that, super full. 2 juices. If you had a little foresight, I usually stop earlier and pour it out a little bit. So we're gonna be careful here. I'm gonna pull that out. Gorgeous. And I'm gonna put that there to catch the drip that's coming down. You'll see that gorgeous foam and froth. Sometimes this specific kind of juicer, the masticating juicers, and some centrifugals, and again, the centrifugal is the one with the basket on top. Sometimes they come out still a little pulpy, even though it got all of supposedly as much of the pulp and fiber as it could. So you can use a little strainer or a large strainer in a bigger pitcher if you would like to. And let's see if I don't spill. I feel like It's going to be a risk. And then we have life that happens. Let me clean that up before I pour my next one. So I usually, it's better if you like, yeah, don't do what I do. Don't do this. Don't try this at home. Try to make the juice, but don't pour from such a full pitcher. And then you can drink one of them now and save one of them for tomorrow. Or you can drink it all today, especially if you're juice cleansing. And I just filled a little bowl with a little bit of water. And I'm going to pop my little celery butt in there. Oop, it's covered. See, it's covered with water, so I'm going to dump some of the water out. Just need a little bit. And then I'm going to put that in on my windowsill so it gets some sunlight, and it'll grow over the next few weeks. Within a few days, I'll start to see little sprouts coming up. You can do this with scallions. You can do this with a bunch of different veggies, romaine lettuce. If you cut the butts off, it'll do the same thing. And sometimes we have like a whole army in the window of all these little celery butts growing, or romaine lettuce and herbs. It's fun. Scallions. And then you just want to change out the water. Make sure it has water once in a while, every couple days, if not daily. I'm not good at doing the whole daily thing, so set that back there for now. And I'm gonna put a lid on it for the one that's gonna be for tomorrow. Pop this in the fridge. And this can last for like, with this juicer, the juicers vary based on like the heat, but this one will be like 3 days in the fridge as it oxidizes. So as soon as it's exposed to oxygen, so when it'll start oxidizing, and that'll start losing nutritional value. So the sooner you drink it, the better it is for your health, like the better nutrition you're gonna get out of it. And another thing I really love doing is dropping in, I love dropping in essential oils to my juices. So grapefruit is really amazing, really great for digestion, really great pick-me-up. So I'm just gonna do one. Got 2 drops in there, that's fine. 2 drops are like my max for a 2-cup drink. You can do like any citrus oil is really good in there. Give it a little stir. I'm gonna use my knife for lack of a better utensil and my love for knives. And throw this in my little compost that for my garden, and drink up. It's so good. So good. So fresh and awakening. I love having this ready to go, whether I'm like hiking in, well, any time of year, or going on a ski trip, road trip, working at my computer all day.